Yes, guys, welcome to SFeatleyTV. It is time for the Bournemouth versus Arsenal match preview coming right up. Make sure you check us out right now.
Already, chance, Balotelli, Aguero! Premier League champions 2016. Leicester City!
Hope to see you soon. Well done. Bye-bye.
Fisher, Cazorla, Giroud again, Joe Wilson! It's Gerrard. That's a great strike! McCracken getting closer. To the centre. It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent. Van Persie arriving. Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Robin Van Persie!
Yes, guys, welcome to SFeatleyTV. It is Arsenal. It is a Bournemouth versus Arsenal preview since we are at the Vitality Stadium on Saturday evening. I've got Matt from the Arsenal Bournemouth fan channel. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, not bad. Thanks for having me on.
Right, Bournemouth. I'll start with Bournemouth. We'll start with Bournemouth straight away. Obviously newly promoted into the Premier League. How have you made your sort of start of the season so far?
To be honest, obviously when you've got the likes of City and Arsenal and Liverpool within the first few games, to get a win against Villa on the first day of the season was massive.
Yeah,
So now
I was impressed by that.
Yeah, and to be honest, I woke up that morning a bit optimistic, thinking we'd get the win. But I didn't expect us to score as quickly as we did, and to beat them without conceding was a nice start. And then obviously you go to City and for sides like us, obviously that's damage limitation. I mean, you know, if you can nick a draw up there, that's obviously a fantastic achievement. But yeah, so not a bad start. Just got to build on last season really, and get as many points as we can get. And you know, we're not disillusioned. We know we're gonna have a tough season, and we need to just try and get as many points as we can to stay in the league for next season. So
obviously, I'm just looking at some of your fixtures coming up. You got us, and you got Liverpool.
yeah,
And then I believe after that you've got Wolves. So
yes,
like you've got some tough fixtures, especially for the next two games
yeah.
coming up. Do you feel that's like probably an advantage? Let's get these tough games out of the way, and then we can sort of then focus on the games we need to make points on,
Yeah, I mean, quite
and then
possibly.
gain some momentum in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, quite possibly that may help us, or it might backfire. We need a good run of games where we got to get some points. I mean, it just highlights those games sort of after the Liverpool away fixture. A few of those games there, we know we've got to get points. So hopefully we can build up a bit of momentum there and get a good first quarter of the season under our belt. But yeah, no, it's you got to play everybody, and you got to just get what you can get. Any points we get off, you know, the famous top six as they're called, is a bonus. So I mean, if we pick anything up on Saturday against you guys,
Well, I'd say at the minute, I'd say top 5 are Man United.
say again. Oh yes, yeah. after that disastrous game on Saturday, yeah,
You probably have some confidence going into that game.
yeah.
You're probably looking at your fixture list. Like, when are we playing them? When are we playing?
Yeah. I'd rather have played United on Saturday than City. I think we would beat them, to be honest. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season, long hard season. So
So yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, I've looked at like Bournemouth's transfer business, and it's not like you've done too much business, if I'm not mistaken. I mean,
No,
I'm
you're
just going to
absolutely
look at
spot
the I'm
on.
just going to look at the Sky Sports in and outs because they usually keep a good update on that. So if I look at yeah, we all know about Arsenal. Bournemouth, you've only bought Neto, Senesi, Waffwell from Blackburn, Tavernier from Middlesbrough, and Fredericks, I do remember from West Ham on a
Mm,
free.
mm.
What do you make of the signing so far for Bournemouth? Is it something you are something that Scott Barker can build on?
Well, up until last weekend when we signed Neto and Sensei, I personally wasn't happy with the business we'd done. Neto would be a fantastic signing. He's played around all Europe, big clubs. So he will
Keep
only
talking. I'm just
improve.
going to put a fan on.
He'll only improve what we've got already, and be a good example to our current keeper, Mark Travers, who looks like he's got a fantastic career ahead of him. Sensei, I think he's going to be quite exciting. He seems good with his feet. He seems a brave defender. So he'll be interesting one to come in. But I wasn't overly too happy until we signed those two because you could see we lost Gary Cahill. Obviously, we released him.
Yeah.
So we knew at the back we were a bit light. So obviously now we've signed Sensei. It's a bit more of a decent signing. Rovwell had a very, very good season in the Championship last year with Blackburn, currently injured. I know he's back on the grass training, but I don't know if he'll be available for Saturday. I think that'll be a bit too short for him, but he'll be an exciting player to watch. Fredericks, I believe we've signed him as backup for Adam Smith.
A
So
bit
yeah,
static smashing there. You've lost the Cook as well.
yeah. So I still think we need a little bit more. I know the club are after another winger and another centre back in this window, so it'd be interesting to see what materialises. I don't think there'll be anything done in time for Saturday.
I mean, I'll ask. I'll ask you. Obviously, Saturday is probably pushing it, but like, I'm not saying probably about Saturday. Can you make any more signings? I probably think you might one or two more. Are you worried that the fact you've right with the likes of probably Nottingham Forest spending the money they've spent, um, Fulham, we know that they usually spend quite a bit when they've come into this league, and usually backfired in the past. Do you feel that Bournemouth might be probably left behind by the other two promoted clubs, and that way you also feel like you're a bit light as well going into the season?
Yeah, I can see why you're saying that. Yeah, I mean the business Forest has done is crazy. I think they've signed like 17 players now, haven't they, or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, so it feels like that at times, doesn't it?
I mean, I think they signed two over the weekend. So they are obviously hoping by spending and signing these players, that's what's going to keep him in the league. I mean, the thing is when you add big to squads like they have, that the players have got a gel. They need time to gel together. So, I mean, that's going to work one or two ways. It's either going to
They've
keep him
made
in the league
15
or
signings.
15, is it? So, I mean, that's going to work one or two ways. It's either going to keep him safe or it's going to terribly backfire. Fulham, for me, I mean, we did a tier show recently, and we all tipped Fulham to go down. I think they're turning into a bit of a yo-yo club, a bit like Norwich, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I'd like to think there's another two teams that might be worse off than Bournemouth, and hopefully I'd like to see us. I mean, if we end up 17th place, then I'll be very happy, man. because then we can build on that for next season. But we've done it before, so there's no reason why we can't do it again. But yeah, in terms of players, we might be a little bit
That's
light.
the thing. When I saw you relegated, the seasons afterwards, you've been like really like on the bubble, like of promotion. So it's like Norwich, Fulham, Norwich. You could possibly maybe say Leeds if they go back down again as well. Like Nottingham Forest as well. They were always up there in the championship as well. These sort of clubs are now sort of being like, we're too big to Watford as well. That's another one. That's always up and down. They're
Yeah,
like, we're too big to be in the Championship, but we're not good enough to be in the Premier League for some reason.
yeah,
So, and I hear your point about Nottingham Forest like signing that many players, and it nearly backfired on Aston Villa. Remember, like the first season they had, they bought that shed load of players.
yeah, they did.
It weren't until the second season with Jack. I think Jack Grealish was still with him in the second season that they actually pushed on because. So it's nothing's guaranteed. We're not in a Forest, but what I will say is about Nottingham Forest. I have rated them to be up there. To be honest, I think Steve Cooper's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I mean they got
Not to mention they beat the crap out of us last season.
Do you remember that cup game? Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone does. Yeah, don't they? They always remember those ones, don't they? But yeah, I'll just go for the rest of it. Yes, Cook is now not in the Forest and played an important part in seeing him through against West. What are your thoughts on your expat? Yeah, what are you mate? Well, yeah, what are your thoughts on Ramsdale? Obviously, good. Used to be with Bournemouth.
Ramsdale for me.
There was a lot of criticism when he turned up at Arsenal. I wasn't one of
Yeah,
them. I just said, look, I don't really agree with the signing, but let's go.
yeah.
Let's see what it's done
Well,
now. Let's do it.
how's he turned out?
Yeah, mate. Look, he's proved everyone wrong, and that's why I said,
Yeah.
don't
I mean,
criticize the player because he's decided. If you were Ramsdale, you've just been demoted. You've just been relegated by Bournemouth. Then Arsenal come along and said, come and sign for us for 30 mil. Like, and we'll give you a contract, and we'll give you a game time as well, like to compete with Leno. He's gonna be like, I've just been relegated with Bournemouth. Yeah,
well,
I'll go with that.
he'd actually been relegated twice, isn't he? Because he'd just been relegated with
Yeah.
United when he signed for you guys, and I mean,
But that's the thing. You jump at that opportunity if you just had that result on you.
of course you would. I mean, when he first came to Bournemouth, I think we brought him.
I didn't like when. Sorry, that's when I didn't like people when they were criticising him. Like,
yeah. I mean, when we first brought him in at Bournemouth, he was really quite young, and you could see he was brought in for the future. And he had a couple of loan moves to lower league clubs like Chesterfield and AFC Wimbledon, which kind of really developed his game. Then he jumped in as our first choice. Obviously, unfortunately, it was the season we went down, but you could see then he was going to go far in the game. I mean, for such a young keeper, he's level headed, and for me, it'd be England's number one at the World Cup. To be honest with you.
oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think I rate him that highly, not just because he's played for Bournemouth, but I mean, even when he left us, went to Sheffield, again, I mean, he was playing in a relegating battling side, and he was getting every week, and he was pulling off fantastic saves. So,
do you feel then, like, and I'll just ask this: do you feel then it's the fact that he's because he doesn't get the chance at a big club, and he's with these small clubs that are always struggling? And I've always said 9 times out of 10, the keeper's going to be beaten if they've beaten the defence. If he's won through 1-on-1, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, the goal's going to go in. Like, you can't really have a goalkeeper for defence being shit.
no.
Like, there's only so much they can do. So,
Yeah.
like, do you feel though, like, because he's been in those small clubs, then that his sort of talent's been hidden away in a sense? Whereas if he was playing for a bigger side, with a better defence, you would see more of his talent come through, and the fact that he'd be making more saves. Plus, he's also probably more in the limelight, probably as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I mean, for me, I think it works the other way. He started off at Bolton. They said he was too short as a
I
youngster.
bet they regret that.
Yeah, bet they do. And then obviously he signed for Sheffield United, and then we took him on. And I think what he did at Bournemouth
I think
was,
no one told Bolton Bartes, did they?
eh?
No one told them. No one told them Fabian Bartes, did they? Until we made a mockery of him. Like,
Yeah, but yeah, but yeah. So he's coming to Bournemouth as a young keeper. He was Premier League club at the time. Obviously, Sheffield United weren't at the time. So what's happened at Bournemouth is he's developed. We've sent him out on loan. He's developed his game. So I think it's worked the other way. Whereas maybe if he was say at an Arsenal when he was a youngster, he may not have developed in the same way he has. But I mean, I think Arsenal got their long-term goalkeeper there in Ramsdale, and I do strongly think he will be England's number one for quite some time.
I feel if like, I mean, we've had like great keepers in the past. We've always had great keepers: Pat Jennings, David Seaman.
Yeah,
Jens Lehmann always said he had a great season, the first season, and then it really went to pot after that, to be honest. But then, to be fair, our defence went to pot, to be honest, and went injured. So, like, yeah, we've had great keepers in the past, like throughout our history. Bob Wilson is another one.
yeah.
Loved it when he stopped fucking George Best. Absolutely fucking love it. Shit, shouldn't say that name on here. But there you go. But look, yeah, but look, I just hope he has another great season, like, because we've had times where we've had a great keeper, like we've had Leonard come in and he's looked really good, like at the beginning of his career, and then it all falls apart. So if he has another great season behind him, I think then he just becomes like a household name at Arsenal, right? And he just becomes one of those just like absolute servants of the club that we always respect, no matter what happens going forward. But look, everyone knows my stance, and everyone knows my stance. They can see it on the back, like on my name. I don't believe in the manager. Simple enough. I don't believe in the manager. Simple.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't believe in the manager is because when it all comes down to it, he can take us all the way up there. But he's in the end going to have to play Tuchel, Conte, Pep, and Guardiola in a tactical battle and beat them to win a league. Do you really think a novice with 4 years' experience is going to beat one of the probably four of the top elite managers in world football to win a title?
Yeah.
No one, everyone that asks Arteta in dodges that question.
I mean,
Because
from an outsider's point of view, looking in, obviously,
go for it.
You obviously know a lot more about Arsenal than I do, but I mean, looking from an outsider, as an outsider looking in, I mean, what you say there about a manager beating those top six. Well, Eddie Howe did it several times, beat good managers when he was manager at Bournemouth. So I don't know whether I think for me, I think Arteta's a good coach, and I know there's a lot of debate amongst Arsenal fans whether he should be there and he shouldn't be there, but I think you guys should stick with him, at least let him have this season, and if he gets top four, that's another step, isn't it? You're back in the Champions League with the big boys, and maybe get a cup as well, like you say. But I don't know. From what I've seen on that All or Nothing documentary so far, you can see tactically as a coach, I think he's pretty. I've only seen the first episode, so he seems. I mean, he's worked with Pep. I mean, Pep does have.
Yeah, mate. The only thing I'm gonna do is, and you'll never walk so sorry. That's all I'm gonna start singing. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm going to watch the rest of it. I'm sure it's going to be interesting, but that's just me as an outsider looking in. Do you know what I mean? I don't watch Arsenal every week. I've seen your first 2 games this season.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There's been certain things in that like I've rated, like the start of it, like putting an arm around Saka, which is what he needed after the disgusting abuse he got after the World Cup, and how he was treated afterwards. I think that was absolutely top quality. Like how he was treated by the club, how they got around him. I did rate the fact that he used though it was a photographer against Spurs, like it was a fan. Right? And sometimes those players don't get what that North London derby means. Right? And it is one of those, you don't lose that fucking game. End of story. So I did like that in a sense. It was helped by the fact that Santo was shit. But look, but there are certain things like where we beat Aston Villa 3-1 last season. We switched off in the last 5 minutes. We were 3-0 up. We conceded a late goal. Now, if that was Pep, you'd walk in, you'd say, great, but don't fall asleep like that. Right? And that's how these top teams win titles, because they work on the small details. Right? They pick out the small details and improve on them. And that's how you've got Man City and Liverpool getting 90 odd points every bloody season, right? And barely losing a game, right? Whereas Arsenal, we came back in the dressing room, everyone's high-fiving. The only one that's pissed off about that, right, and annoyed with it, is Ramsdale. Not a mention about it from the manager when they said, well done, everyone, right? Went round shaking everyone's hand. And then the debrief later, they all said, like, Ramsdale was furious about it, but he was like, oh yeah, but look how well we performed. I'm like, well, if you're not going to work on the details, mate, we're not going to get anywhere. We'll get to a certain point, and then it'll stop.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. Very valid point.
So it's those details that he needs to keep working on and changing. Like, change the mentality so that that's not good enough. Like, because when Ramsdale comes in like that, I'm like, yeah, it bloody cares. It bloody cares.
Yeah.
Right. All or nothing is ever to make up. To be fair, I don't know whether we've gone past that bit or not. Might have gone past that bit. Might have gone past it. If we haven't, if the 6th episode hasn't, then it'll be in the 7th or 8th. If it has, then yeah, well, that's all or nothing for you, isn't it? Like, we call it all for nothing because we ended up 5th anyway. well, we didn't get top 4, did we? Like, it's all for nothing, isn't it? Ask Matt if there's any similarities between Parker and the Legend of the Year. Yeah, I'll ask you is actually with Parker, before we just get to the game as well, is obviously the similarities, but do you feel it was down like Eddie, how as much as he was a legend at Bournemouth and how he got you to where you are, he stayed on too long and that's what cost you Premier League status last time?
Quite possibly when you look back on it. I think
because it did look like it to me. It just went a bit stale.
Yeah, I think the problem was personally, I think what the problem was during the last season, obviously, we had the break in the COVID, which didn't obviously help. But I think he lost a bit of the changing room, if I'm being honest. And maybe it was time for someone to come in and give us new ideas. I mean, Eddie Howe will forever be God for Bournemouth. I mean, no one takes a football club from League Two,
Zeus.
where you're about to be relegated after having minus 17 points, to just survive in one game before the end of the season for another club legend who scores the winning goal in that game, and then built
Yeah.
on throughout the whole of the. I know he had that spell at Burnley, which I think probably only improved him as a manager, and he probably learned a lot more there. He come back as a different, not as a different guy, but as a better coach, I reckon. And then he just excelled from there. But there always comes a time, no matter whether you're an Eddie Howe, if you're Alex Ferguson or a Wenger, there always comes a time when, you probably have been at the club for maybe longer than what you should have.
The difference between Ferguson and Wenger is Ferguson knew when it was over.
Yeah, he
He
knew
that team was not going to be fixable next season.
Yeah,
and you could tell
100%.
he couldn't carry on with the Glazers with the way that's a different story anyway. But
that's all.
But with Wenger, he wanted even the next contract. He didn't have. He could have still went on a high even in that contract. I still said he should have gone after 2014. Right? You've won an FA Cup. You've proved in 9 years. After 9 years, you can win an FA Cup. Go out on a high, or even after 2015, go out on a high. You've done us well. There's your legend status. Yeah, and we're none the wiser. We've been 3 years of protest, and that'd be it. But because he kept on and on and on and on, trying to think he's going to win us a title, that's what destroyed it. And that's why now, when you see, I watch these Invincibles on Amazon Prime, brilliant documentary. But then you look at the last 10 years. Right?
Yeah.
And Alex Ferguson, right, telling us that we should have been happy sticking with top four. Shut up. Right? Shut up. Stick with your Man United. Right? How about you come out and make a comment about Man United, mate? Right? Because you're at the bottom of the league, mate. Right? Calm down. Right? Telling me I should stick with top four. Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, you go and win the title every season. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah, let me just get through some of these comments and we'll carry on.
Yeah.
We'll get to the game. Obviously. Xhaka, we won't get rid of him. What I was trying to say is Arteta you're saying Arteta's done well with him, but you said Arteta hasn't done well about 3 days ago. You didn't say he did well against Palace, right? Or against Leicester. That's what I was saying. There you go. Oh yeah, I forgot Arteta begged to get the. Yeah, mate, don't look at me. I'm not the director of All Nothing. Right? Don't look at me. Right? Yeah, I trust me. You remember, Dan? Even I was with you on that one. I was not happy with that. You should not have banned it after just one COVID case. Right? Got to raise standards. That's Arsenal to win this. Big up, Gooner Firms 21. Arsenal to win this 2-0. Probably agree. Wenger wasn't walking away from a. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, good point.
Away at Bournemouth will not be easy for Arsenal. Any Arsenal thinking that would be careful. We know what your team is like. Dan, sometimes I do hold my head in my hands when I'm watching them. We will grind them down, and the 2 goals will come in the second half. Okay. It's one way of trying to grind. It's one way of trying to beat them. So, but look, I mean, we'll go into the game itself. How do you think Scott Parker's going to tackle this game in particular after Man City? Do you feel he's got more of a chance in this one? Do you feel he's going to try and be more expressive?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being at home, Bournemouth have always been a side that have been more expressive at home and in front of its, our own crowd. We've had some good results against, the big boys when we've been in the league. So, I mean, I don't think he'll change his formation. I think that's the formation that he's going to play for the season, which is 3 at the back with the wing backs and the midfield. two midfield with the lone striker up top. He likes the wingers and that. So, he'd probably go with just Solanke on his own, I'd imagine, on Saturday, and I'd keep someone like Kiefer Moore on the bench as my impact player if things ain't quite going right, because he started on Saturday against City because Solanke was injured, but I think at home against you boys, I think I'll keep him in my back pocket just as a little impact player if things ain't going right, or if we're level after 70 minutes, that's the kind of player I'll chuck on top to start bullying the defence a little bit. But I don't think he'd change the team too much. You're going to have the same keeper in there. Mark Travers will be playing. I very much doubt Neto will play. You'll have Lloyd Kelly, Chris Mepham, the new guy, Marcus Sensei. Hopefully should make his home debut. So probably just be a change in the back three, I'd imagine, with Lerman moving back into the midfield. So yeah, I think that's what will happen on Saturday.
Yeah. It's Arsenal will go in there with probably a lot of confidence. I just hope they just don't mistaken that for arrogance, because we have got a tendency to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to start Smith Rowe, but he's apparently going to just come back from injury, and he's playing tonight, so that means he probably won't start this weekend. So problem is we're going to end up playing with 10 men because Odegaard's going to disappear again. He's going to fly to Jabara. No, you know what I mean, Jabara guard. So look, so he probably play the same way, I feel, but it's not like a 4-2-3-1. It sort of splits more into a 4-3-3 as well, and it's something new that I've got to watch a few times to get my head around it, to be fair, because it is something new he's trying, and it's so far been working, right? So I think the key is probably down the left hand side, because you've got Martinelli, you've got Jesus, Gabriel as a Brazilian as well. They all seem to be linking up very well when we're passing out from the back. If you stop the connection between Martinelli and Jesus, you'll nullify a lot of our attack, especially if you isolate Jesus. I think that's the real key danger.
Not be easy, is it?
Because no, it's not, because he'll easily pull away defenders as well just by his runs and his movement.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You have to be aware of that. So and if you're not, Martinelli will just burst through the gaps and just punish you. So I probably don't even see Jesus scoring this game. I probably saw more. Because of that, I'll probably see more Martinelli scoring in this game rather than Jesus. Jesus just be more of the pest of a striker that's gonna make the defender think: do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? So yeah. I've got a fair bit of confidence he's got ways around this. If he comes out like that and doesn't come out, I've already said the first 5 games we've had 2 games already. We've won. We've got Fulham after this. That's 4 games. The next game after that is. Let me have a look. I'm trying to have a look. It's Aston Villa. Then we got Man United. So actually, the first 6 games, and that's including Man United, we should win.
Yeah, on paper.
And I'm not. And that's not me sounding arrogant. That's just me being realistic about Man United. Right?
No.
The first 5 games, right? This should be guaranteed. I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear the ref, the ball, the sky, the goal post, like the stadium, the sun. I don't want the clouds, the rain. I don't want to hear any excuses and how we did not get all 15 points from the first 5 games, right? Because knowing Arsenal fans, if there's an excuse, they'll come up with one, right? But right. So, but look, like I like I said, we should get all 5 wins, nothing less, and then go into the Old Trafford game. And like I said, I expect to beat them home and away if they're going to be this bad this season. If they are actually going to be that poor. But there you go. Matt, for Bournemouth, which players should Arsenal watch out for? I'll actually ask that.
That's a good question. Yeah, for Arsenal, obviously, Solanke up top had a good season last year. Good player, good all-round player, good with his feet. Even if he doesn't score, he still contributes a lot to the team. So, yeah, he's one to watch out for. In the midfield, obviously, you got someone like Jefferson Lerma, Colombian international, good player all round again, good ball winner, good passer of the ball. Can also play at centre back, which he's done for the last 2 games, which I don't think he'll do on Saturday. I think he'll probably move back into the midfield, or Parker might surprise us and carry on with the same team that beat Villa. But yeah, no, we've got a lot of talent. I mean, across the whole field, really. I mean, there's people like Ryan Christie, real talented Scottish player. We've got obviously David Brooks, who's just coming back from cancer, and he's back in full training now. But I think Saturday's too early to see him. But so yeah, we've got quality all over the pitch. At the back, you've got a young Lloyd Kelly, our skipper, who's created a lot of interest from quite a few clubs over the transfer window. So yeah, I mean, but from an attacking threat, Solanke, Kiefer Moore.
Solanke's one to look out for, to be honest.
Yeah, Solanke, Kiefer Moore. Those two definitely up top. But then we've got a new signing in Travanair, who he signed from Middlesbrough.
Yes, I think it's what, £12 million, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was 10 million with add-ons. I think. So yeah, I think it's about 12 mil altogether. And against City and
12.5. Yeah, 12.5.
12.5 altogether. Yeah. So he didn't look like the step up was a massive step up for him. He had a very good game against Villa. So Tavernier to look out for. I mean, we've got a fairly decent squad. I mean, obviously, in comparison to, Man City, Liverpool,
yeah.
Obviously, I mean, the Premier League for me is you've got the bottom half and the top half, the top 6, and that's difficult to always compare your players. But I mean, on any day, Bournemouth, we put in a good performance. I mean, it's like before. I mean, we've beaten.
Like I've always said about the Premier League, is like you can never be sure, even as a top side, of going to even the bottom side and getting the result, because if you don't go in with the right attitude and the right commitment, they can easily turn you around. Look at Fulham for like the start of the season, for God's sake.
Yeah, no one on this earth would have said that would have been a draw. I don't think.
No, literally, everyone in the prediction stream got 0 points.
Yeah,
0 points for
the
game.
I mean, and that's
they all said Liverpool win.
Yeah, I mean that will turn out to be a massive point for Fulham. I mean, if they stay up, I mean they will look back on that point and
if they and that's only if they capitalise on the games where they're supposed to win.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, obviously it's a long old season, isn't it? But yeah, so I mean, on our day, I mean, it's like I said, we've played you guys before, and we've been 3-0 up before, which you guys weren't too happy about.
Then we're celebrating a point.
And then you were celebrating a point at the end of the game like you just won the league. But
but
again, a point's a point, isn't it, away from home. But
you had to do that while I was getting a drink.
But yeah, I mean, on our day, we played good football. We got good talented squad, good young squad.
See, that's the thing. It's just like, because like obviously you focus on the Premier League, so you struggle to focus on the Championship at times as well. You struggle to work out when the newly promoted side comes in. They actually don't spend that much. You think they're very light, and they might actually turn out to be very talented, and you just don't know it. So, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I mean, I still think we're a bit light. Definitely need to probably get a couple of faces in. I mean, I've seen some talk in the press today, a few days ago, that we were looking at a Bristol City striker. That's right, he did Boston midfield last season. Yeah, he did. That's a very good point, actually. But yeah, so I mean, the transfer window hopefully bring a couple more faces in, then we won't look so light.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I think that's the main thing, depth in it, especially in this season where you got the World Cup. And I've
well,
said this is what I said. This is what I've said. It's like, because we got Europa League, we got the FA Cup, the League Cup. We're playing 4 competitions again. The squad we thinned out even more in this January transfer window, even more this season. Like, we were out to sign a young talented Spaniard for £33 million. He's only 19, but if you look at the amount of players we've got off the books in the youth squad, you can understand why we're getting someone like that, because in 3-4 years' time he could be worth 60 odd bloody million. And we can be thinking, one, we go for that discounted price at the time. So I can understand why they're going for Pino, for example. Obviously, people are not happy because they're short-sighted. They're not seeing the fact that, look, that's a long-term vision. But I do get the point that we need to focus on getting a midfielder. We've had that problem since 2006. Since we got rid of Vieira, it's always been, who's in the midfield? We need a midfielder. We need a midfielder. We need a midfielder. We need that lump in the midfield that is like a Patrick Vieira that's going to say, I'm going to kick you up in the air if you come past me. Like, you know what I mean? It's yeah, Vieira wouldn't add any of it. Like, even out of Roy Keane, you know, like those were the days. So, by the way, and obviously I'll just shout out what Abbas has said. Mr. Henry, the legend himself, it's his birthday today. My best Premier League striker, without a doubt. Don't care. Fuck your Agueros, right? Fuck your Ruben Nistelrooys, your Wayne Rooney's. I don't give a fuck. Right? Henry was the best. Out of doubt. Out of doubt. Best goal for me. Sorry, Dan, you're gonna hate me for this. Spurs, 2002-3 at Highbury. Took your whole squad apart from a corner. From a corner. He just ran past it like it was not there. And they just come and celebrate in your fans. And he's just like, in his documentary, he's like, every time I see new faces, like dejection, anger. And the guy who's doing the interview, he said, sounds like your favourite photo. He said, it's not far off. Oh, mate, I love it. Just like wind up the Tottenham fans even more, like doing a documentary on it. Yeah, on just that picture. Oh, mate. That's one thing. If you watch, I don't know if you watched that part of where we played Tottenham yet. Have
No,
you
that
watched?
I think that's coming up. I think that's about to come up.
Yeah, because you'll see
But
the
they played
part.
Burnley just before, isn't it? They played Burnley just
We
before.
played Burnley before, and
Yeah, I'm up to that point.
yeah, because we have the whole thing called the North London Derby, because obviously that was a massive turning point. Like, again, that gave us massive confidence going forward. Right? But I loved what his Henry described it, and it's what I expect from my standard. He's only said top 4. I used to expect to compete for the league, right? But he said the reason he's pointing out Smith Rowe and Saka, and that's why I've said I wanted him to start Smith Rowe as well over Odegaard, and I'll always want that because they're Arsenal Football Club. Hail end, right? And it's like how you breathe, you think, you eat, you talk, you sleep, you work, right? Everything about it, right? And it's just it used that you sort of get the meaning of what it actually means. Just it is Tottenham, but like how much it means just to beat the crap out of them. Sorry, Dan. Like, okay, but he's probably the same back. Like how it means to beat the crap out of them. But like he explains what it means to be an Arsenal player and to compete at the top. And I'm not expecting to expect anything less. I'm not celebrating anything less. Right? And the very thing in that, he said top 4, not 5th, not top 4. Right? And that was top 4. So I'm expecting even higher than that. So my standards are very high. That's probably why people find me controversial. Probably, I don't know. I'm watching from Liberia. Thanks for. I'm watching from Liberia. Thanks for the update. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Big up Liberia. Hope you're doing well over there as well. Stephen, it's not just Vieira, but Gilberto Silva. Yeah, Gilberto Silva too, man.
Another good player.
Underrated at times because of Vieira. Doesn't get the shout out he mentions. 11 likes, like, subscribe. Yes, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. What should we do? Score predictions? Right, score predictions. Should we do
prediction? Yeah, that's cool.
Right, I'll do score predictions, and actually what I'll do is I'll put the link in the chat while we're doing it. If anyone does want to come on and ask a question, you're more than welcome to. Right. Go on in, Matt. You're the guest. You go first. You're at home.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you've got to back your team, ain't you? We're at home, so I'm not going to go with a draw, but I'm going to say 2-1. 2-1 Bournemouth.
Oh, he's gone for it. 2-1 Bournemouth. There you go. That's what I love to hear. Right, back the team. Like, back your own team. That's what I love. Right. Dan, he's gone for a draw. 2-2. See, Dan, look, you're probably more honest than me, because if it was Tottenham beat Bournemouth as a prediction, I wouldn't even predict you for a draw, mate.
To be fair, he might have a point there.
No. I just don't know. I don't back Spurs to get anything. I've never on live camera. I will not say Spurs win. They'll play Marine, and I'll say 1-0 to Marine.
Yeah.
Not happening. It's not happening. You're not getting me to say it.
But he might have a shout.
He knows the deal. He knows the deal. He's been here a while, so he knows the deal.
There's definitely goals in that game Saturday. Definitely goals.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, probably definitely goals. Late evening kickoff as well. Usually brings up a lot of goals. Let's hope if it's 2-2, we don't have a WWE wrestling match.
Yeah, hopefully not.
What do you make of that? Seriously, Jesus Christ!
What's that?
The WWE wrestling match between Tuchel and Conte.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this little graphic thing.
It's like Tuchel in the press conference flexing his muscles.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen a little computer game design thing that's been done, and they're wrestling in a ring and all that. Yeah, it's a bit of it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Really, when two managers.
Yeah, it's a Chelsea Tottenham derby. Like, you know, you're gonna you want that in a derby, like remember, and people described it well, right? The reason no one takes Man City Liverpool as a rivalry seriously, right, is because Man City are too respectful to Liverpool, right? Pep's always respectful to Klopp. Klopp's always respectful for Pep, right? There's no the respect. The players are respectable, and there's no love loss. There's always love there. Like there's always respect there. You remember Arsenal the Arsene Wenger Fergie days? It's not just the clubs hating each other, the managers hate each other, The players hate each other. The players hate their own players. It was just all out war. All out war. That was why, like the FA Cup treble winning game, we should have scored the penalty, and then they went down the other end and scored the fucking goal. Bastards. Like they had the chance to win a penalty to end their unbeaten season. We had a chance to win a penalty just to end their treble season. And we both fucked up, so we all got our history. But like that was what rivalry's about.
Mm.
Oh yeah, you want to see that in the North London derby. I love that. I love that in the North London derby. Right, is when we scored the first goal. It was when we scored the third goal, or no, the equaliser or something. No, it's the equaliser, I believe. Right, they were celebrating right in front of our substitutes. The substitutes decided to get right in and start a punch up in the corner flag. Like, I think, no, I wasn't at that game because my dad had just passed away about a few days before, so I was like, please come in. He was a gooner, big time. Conte will win. Don't diss my man. I'm not dissing him, mate. I'm just saying, they're flexing, they were just trying to flex. That's what I love to see, just like out of rivalry. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal. I loved it, mate. I love the fact he was sticking up for himself and my football club. Exactly. Like, you're gonna back Conte. Chelsea's gonna back Tuchel. But then Chelsea in two minds, and then you've got Conte and Tuchel. Conte's won him a trophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, Tuchel's won the Champions League, so he taught Trumps that.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like, which one do we go for?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why they started targeting the Tottenham fans, saying you've won fuck all, like because they couldn't have a go at the managers because they're like, well, he's won the Premier League for us, our last Premier League. He's won our last Champions League.
Yeah, difficult one there for the old Chelsea fans.
That's what happens if you go through so many managers.
yeah.
Trust me, they could have a monopoly board of like how many managers they've gone through.
Yeah.
Look, anyway, I'm getting off target here. Like, I'm gonna go for. I said 3-0 the other show, so I say a 3-0. I've got that feeling once we get a second goal, I feel we just settle in and get and start really being expressive.
See, the thing for me is about Saturday is I mean, after watching your last.
If we get an early goal, it really would kill the crowd. I think the first thing to do is kill the crowd.
That would make it very, very uphill struggle. But I mean, I just see Arsenal conceding goals this season, but they score more than what they concede, obviously. So I just think with us being at home, if we can nick a couple of goals, it's going to be a very interesting game. Just keeping your front line quiet.
Yeah.
Like you said, it might not be a game where Jesus scores, but it'd be a game where Jesus is pulling players out of position.
He's creating all the pockets of space.
Space, exactly. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a good game.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Goals in it, two good footballing sides. So let the battle commence.
Yeah. Steve, you can't go a minute without a little dig. Mate, I'm an Arsenal fan. What do you fucking expect? What do you expect? Like, look, Dan, you could be honest. At the end of the season, I did toast the fact you got top 4, didn't I? I did toast that to you. So, like, be nice. Like, I was nice in that sense. Like, most Arsenal fans will told you to fuck off. If Arsenal score early, then I do. Yeah, if we do, that's what I'm saying. If we do score early, then it's.
He's got a point. That is a very good point.
Yeah. If you get through the first 15 minutes without a goal conceded, then you really settle into the game, and then it becomes more of a battle.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like. So that was always what was good about our old teams of old. Like, it was like, not. Sometimes we went to teams and we already knew we had them bit in the dressing room. And it was like, how many goals we're getting today? 3, 4, 5. Right. How quick are we scoring? We're going to do it in 3, 4, 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like back in the day. Now it's like, are we going to actually win today? I can't tell.
Hopefully you do Saturday, but hey ho.
Yeah. Well, I hope for my blood pressure's sake we do. After last season, my doctor told me to calm down. I don't. I'm just laugh at it this time. I'm just gonna laugh. I'm just gonna laugh at it all. Just like say,
Right,
told you so.
Arteta's your man. This time next year, you'll have hashtag Arteta the Great or something. So he'll win you a cup. He'll get you in the top 4.
Yeah, read it.
He'll be your man.
Yeah. Before I dip my head in a fire. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
Right, Matt. It's been a pleasure having you on as usual.
Thank you very much for having us on. Yeah.
And again,
Pleasure.
if you ever fancy coming back on doing a football show, Premier League show, anything like that, just give us a shout. And we'll do something. But if people don't know, where can they find you?
Well, obviously the channel's called Up the Cherries in All Departments. Obviously we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I think we might be on.
You had enough characters to come up with that channel name.
Well, that's what we used to chant. We used to chant Up the Cherries in All Departments. You know, usually when we were about to take a corner.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, so that's where the name of the channel is basically from. But yeah, we're on all the platforms, and there's a lot of weekly shows that go out, and there's quite a few things in the pipeline as well. So So give us a like, give us a subscribe. All good.
Wicked. Make sure you go and do that right now. As usual, you can, like, you know, if it's live, if it's going live, and I've shared most of it on the community tab, then we will be doing the show. If I've delayed it and postponed it back, that obviously means that day's show is obviously cancelled because I'm just not feeling up to it. Because still, like, I feel been fair better the last couple of days, but still, like, over a month just since having COVID, and I'm still having some of the effects from that. So, yeah. So if there's a show and it's going to be live on that night, on that day, and it's still there, it will be done. If not, then it will be done on another date. I will get round to doing the F1 shows on the other channel at some point, especially because the new season, the restart for after the summer break is coming. Not this weekend, next weekend, the Belgian Grand Prix. So that'll be the restart of that. So we got to get started on that again. So it'll be all hands to the pump. So yeah, make sure you keep checking everything out. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the join button as well. Please donate as much as you can to Children's Liver Disease Foundation by hitting the membership button, by hitting the super chat button, by hitting the donation page link down below. It really does help every single penny you can afford. So until then, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.